What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And today, we went somewhere. Well, we didn't go somewhere
We
today.
didn't go anywhere today.
Yeah, we didn't go anywhere today.
Like, thank goodness. I'm not up for that.
It's a relaxing day today. We're just hanging out with you guys. So, we came to your living rooms, bedrooms, toilet, wherever you are right now.
Wow.
But no, we went on a trip recently. And
we did. We went on a lot of trips recently. Which one are
yeah.
you talking about, Sean?
We went to New Orleans.
We did.
Uh-huh.
So we wanted to tell you about our recent trip to New Orleans. It was the first time either of us had ever been there. And it was a very interesting trip. As you can tell from the title of this video, we spent 23 hours in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
That's it. We were like, let's go. Now we go home. Not because it was like anything crazy, like, oh, we can't be here. It's
Well,
just
pretty crazy, actually. I went there for a gig, and I was dancing with Crew Shadows, and they had their show at New Orleans Vampire Ball. And because of work schedules and all kinds of things, most of the band only even spent like 2 days in the city. I think only 2 of them spent like an extra couple of days. But what was I saying?
Oh, about the crazy trip.
Right. So most of us, because of work schedules, only spent like between 24 and like 72 hours there. But most of them, 48 hours. We only went for 23 hours because we drove the night before. We stayed like somewhere along the way. And then we got there that morning at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, from where we live to there, it was like
8-hour drive.
8-hour drive without any stops. So.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do those 8 hours in like one night starting at 8 o'clock. No thanks. So we stopped halfway and then we made it the next morning. We got there around 10 o'clock in the morning and then I didn't have to be at the venue until 4:30. So I was like, okay, we've got all this time to go explore the city. So we decided to take from 10 o'clock till about like 2 o'clock and explore the city. Again, neither of us have ever been to New Orleans, and it was different. I've never been in a city like that, but I've been in so many cities like that at the same time. We get there, and I see, like, palm trees and big buildings, and I'm like, are we in Miami?
Did I go the wrong way?
Are we straight up in Miami? Yeah. But then we turn more toward, like, I guess where the French Quarter is, and I was like, oh, are we in Virginia? Oh, are we in, where else did I think? Indianapolis? Like, Columbus? It was just very, like, there were parts of it that seemed very what I guess New Orleans would be. The architecture was very different. But then part of it, no, there was one city it totally reminded me of. San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
New Orleans looks almost exactly like San Juan, Puerto Rico for me. You know?
Like the small, like, streets
cobblestone
and
streets
then you got that and then you got
the
like
architecture, the
you got
Spanish
like shop
architecture.
after shop after shop. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it really reminded me of that. And so like the whole day I'm like, what does this city remind me of? And then we turn a corner and I'm like, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Absolutely, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
It was crazy though, like just the different types of architecture and the different types of feels in the different areas.
Yeah.
It really does feel like a lot of people started off in New Orleans and were like, all right, I'm going to move up north. I'm going to move up northwest. I'm going to move here. I'm going to move here. And then they all like grew that city, but then they had like a general idea of what they liked back home. And that's what it felt like. It just like branched out.
I guess, yeah.
But it was interesting.
The city was so weird and like cool.
Oh, yeah.
But weird.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was different, but it was the same, but it was different.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we drove for 4 hours the first night, and then we stayed somewhere.
No, we made it 5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Five or 6?
We trucked
We went
it.
6 hours.
Oh yeah, we trucked it for a while.
Yeah, because the time changed and everything. We made it to our hotel at like 11. Went to sleep, woke up the next morning, drove into the city. It was like 2.5 hours to there. I think we stopped around Mobile. So.
I think so. And then, but yeah, when we got to the city, we had to wait for a little bit for the hotel to be ready. So we decided to go wander.
Yeah, we just were
because that's what
wandering.
We do.
And so we're walking around with the French Quarter, which obviously that's where everybody tells you to go. And a lot of people told me not to go to the French Quarter. Go outside the city. Go see that. I'm like, girl, I got 23 hours. And the venue is in the French Quarter. That's where I'm gonna be. So we took this trip to explore that area. And we're walking around, and I remember getting some advice from some friends. One of them said, Café du Monde is great, but definitely go to Café Beignet. It's way better and not as touristy. And I was like, okay, cool. So we found a Café Beignet. I was like, which one do you want to go to? I mean, we can do one today and one tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, sure. We found a Café Beignet. It was super pretty. And it had like this dome arch.
It looked like a
tunnel.
Like a tunnel, yeah.
And so it was just really, really cute and intricate. And they had all these different food options, but like we were there for the beignets, obviously, which are like donuts, kind of.
It's like a fluffy,
very fluffy,
deep
so
fried
fluffy
donut that has like
so much powdered sugar on it, and it assaulted me. And in the editing of this video, I'm going to try to include like a bunch of videos and pictures and stuff. And if in the editing it doesn't work out quite right, I'll link to the Facebook album where I put all of these videos and pictures. But yeah, so I got assaulted by powdered sugar.
It was just
and we got coffees, we got that, and we kind of just like took them, walked around. We tried to walk around with them, and then we realized that those are not a walk around food because that is how we got accosted by powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar and wind, not friends.
So we're walking around, and then we find this candy store, and apparently a big food in New Orleans is pralines. And I was like, I've never even tasted a praline. Like, I've had praline flavored stuff, like praline coffee or whatever. And so we try it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness, they were like amazing. Like the lady was like, we were like, what is a praline? Like I've grown up in like a bakery, and I don't remember ever having pralines.
It was like all the ingredients in a cookie, but like solidified into candy. It was weird,
and
but
she
it was
like,
delicious.
The lady was like, oh, it's like what is it called? Peanut brittle and something else combined. And so I'm expecting this hard thing, and I bite in, and it's
so
just soft, and it's just like.
And yes, we knew that the beignets and the pralines weren't going to be vegan, but it wasn't enough of non-vegan stuff to like hurt us. And these are the kind of exceptions that we make when we travel. Obviously not for meat, but for like dairy and egg. Well, just to try the local fare, we will make those exceptions.
We had like little pieces of praline.
I know, like they were
like,
literally
it was the try me stuff. We're like,
samples. So we tried the regular and then the rum one. The rum one tasted like eggnog.
Absolutely.
It straight up tasted like eggnog.
She puts it in her mouth. She goes, that tastes like eggnog. And I'm like,
it's so funny because I've been craving eggnog because it's that season, right? And so I don't like the eggnog with alcohol in it, but adding the rum to the praline made it taste like regular eggnog. So I was like, oh, this is good.
I did not expect them to be that good, but they were so good.
So good.
Also, the Café Beignet, highly recommend their lattes.
Yeah, their chai was different. I don't usually drink coffee, especially not before a show. Their chai was different, but it wasn't my favorite. But it was good. It was just different. But his coffee, so good.
She picked the flavors for me.
I forget what I
every
picked.
time that we go somewhere, I let her pick the flavors. A, I'm terrible at picking flavors, and B,
he was just gonna go with straight vanilla, and I'm like, dude, don't be that boring. I think we did toffee nut and caramel.
Yeah. But yeah, she gives me some of the best mixtures of flavors, and they're so good because this one's got a heightened sense palette, and it's
I do. I just don't like sweet coffee, so I get it for him. I'm like, I bet that would taste good. And then he drinks it, and he's like, this is so good.
That was probably one of the best coffees I've had. So yeah, good
coffees, fantastic beignets. Like the video that we have, it's like, I had to take a second. I was like, this is so good. Probably I'll add that at the end of the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll see us eating beignets at the end of this. So we go keep walking. There's a bunch of cool little shops. We don't really go in any of them because it's early and a lot of them aren't even open yet. But it's cool to see all the architecture. We find this like square, Jackson Square.
I think that's what it was
it's
called.
It's got like a statue of Andrew Jackson, and it's got who even was that?
The guy on the horse?
Yeah. Who's Andrew Jackson? Is he a president?
He was.
Okay.
He's on the $100 bill?
Sure.
Is he on
I
the
don't
bill?
know things. I teach math, okay?
I was not the best in history, so.
I teach math. Get over it.
Leave a comment below. Let us know who Andrew Jackson is.
So we're there, and there's like the famous New Orleans building that I did the cartwheel picture in front of. And then there's like the water with like the riverboat kind of thing. And there's street vendors. He was really, really excited to see the street vendor artists. So we walked around and we looked at all this really, really cool art. Some of it seemed very like touristy, the kind of stuff you'd see in New York. Like on the street, or very, very touristy.
Or like in like the Keys in Florida where you go into the shop and they're like, look, here's
and it's
a seashell
all the same photo, right? But then there were some really, really cool ones. So that was awesome to see. They were all just set up around the square. So we took like a big walk around.
We got to see street performers.
Yes, there were really, really cool street performers. There was this one saxophonist who was playing Beatles, which for me was really, really awesome. And then
there was the statue guy.
Yeah, there was a statue guy, and there was a guy on the ground doing a street performing thing. I don't remember what he was doing. But...
And there was like a show, like a magic type guy.
Yeah, and then there were all these people that would like type a poem for you on an old typewriter. You could just pay them $5 and they'll type you a little poem.
About anything you want.
About anything you want. And there were a few of them. And then there was a lot of tarot card readings and... It was really interesting.
It had a fun vibe.
Yeah, it was like going to like a festival or something, but just every day in New Orleans. So that was really, really cool. The main thing that we wanted to see, we spent most of the morning trying to get to one place. And
Where?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it turns out both of us like to do. I had a feeling he liked to do this, but I guess I didn't know how much I liked to do this. But really works out on the compatibility level for travel. So we wanted to find one of the places where they filmed one of our favorite shows. So Leverage Redemption is one of our favorite shows. Leverage and Leverage Redemption. But Redemption was set in New Orleans, right in the French Quarter. And we're looking up, like, I was like, oh, wait, Leverage was filmed here. Let's see if there's any good filming spots we can go see. Turns out Leverage headquarters is right in the freaking French Quarter, right by the official Café du Monde, like the big one, and right by Jackson Square. So as we're headed up that way, I'm like, oh my God, we're almost there. And then we go see Leverage headquarters. And if you watch the show, if you've seen Leverage Redemption, you see this place, the headquarters, with the green doors in every episode. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
At least in season 1.
It's so cool because we're like going through and we see it and we're just like, oh my gosh, like it was filmed here, like all that, and it was so cool. We couldn't go in, of course.
No, it was definitely locked, but it was so cool to just be right there.
Knowing that's where they filmed one of our favorite shows, you know?
Yeah, and we've been watching it since we got back, going, oh my God, we were there. Oh my God, we were there. Oh my God, we were there.
It's so cool because like we see stuff and we're like, we were there. Oh my God, we were on that street.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like when Elliot was going to see his dad, but didn't, and he walks back around.
Yeah,
it was a sad moment, but we were like, we were there.
We walked on that road.
Yeah, we walked on that road. It was so crazy. But, like, that's probably my favorite thing that we got to do in New Orleans was see that. And we took so many pictures by it. We messaged Panda, and we were like, hey, we're at Leverage headquarters, because she's the one that got me into Leverage. You already liked it. But she was like, you need to watch Leverage. You are Parker. And I'm like, okay. So I watched Leverage, and I'm like, I am Parker minus the stabbing people with a fork. So far. So we go see that. Then I'm like, all right, we need to get some kind of authentic New Orleans food. We got to figure out what we can do as vegans, especially since I want to be careful before a show. A praline here, a donut there, that's not going to cause me any issues. But like a full-on meal with animal product in it, that would make me sick before the show. So we decided to get po' boys because I told him, I was like, have you ever had a po' boy? And he was like, no. I don't even know what that is. And I was like, it's kind of like a sandwich. It is a sandwich, but it's kind of like a sandwich. Traditionally, they're made with like crawfish and shrimp.
Ooh,
but
that'd have been good back when I could eat that.
And we can't really have gumbo, very obviously, that's made with like shrimp and sausage, right? So I find this place. It was Killer Po' Boys, I think is the name of it, right off of Bourbon Street. So like not Bourbon Street, but like 1 or 2 streets to the west. And I think to the west.
It's to the
northwest.
left. Just depending on which way you're looking, it might be to the left.
To the left. So we're trying to find it. They have 3 different vegan sandwiches, 2 po' boys and 1 regular sandwich. And so they advertise, oh, we have vegan options. And so I was like, all right, let's get all of them. You get the spicy one, I'll get the not spicy one, and then we'll split the third one. So he got the Thai spicy tofu po' boy, which I know for anyone who's like authentic about New Orleans food, that is definitely not authentic, but like it's the best we could do, okay? And I got a cauliflower po' boy. It was like oven roasted cauliflower with this really, really good sauce, and it was delicious.
It was good.
I gave him a piece of it. I didn't try his because spicy and peanuts.
Mine was loaded with
yeah,
peanuts.
Thai peanut spicy tofu. And I'm like, there's only one word in there that I like, and it's tofu. So we each have one of those, and then we got one to share, and I decided we were going to eat that after the show, and it was pecan butter and jelly, so no peanuts, but it was like a PB&J. It was still a PB&J. It was just pecan instead of peanut. And it was on like this really, really good bread, and so I was like, oh, we'll just save that for later. And so we got those. We went back to the hotel. We ate super fast, and then we fell asleep.
Yeah, we took a nap.
We took a little nap. We took a little nappy nap.
We've been driving, and then we walking.
And I knew my show was going to be at like 11 o'clock at night. So I was like, oh, let's take a little nappy nap. Okay. So, and 11 o'clock at night there for us is like midnight. So we go ahead and do that. Then I go to the venue. Now we're at the New Orleans Endless Night Vampire Ball.
Which is at the House of Blues.
Is at the House of Blues in French Quarter, New Orleans. Super cool. And an amazing venue. That's like a dream venue to play. So I definitely checked off a bucket list item right there of like, I got to perform at the House of Blues, New Orleans. Like that is just cool. The really cool part is that the night before Cruise Shadows played, one of my favorite musical artists played that stage, and it was Michelle Branch. Like from the 90s, 2000s.
So
like,
you performed on the same
on
stage
the same
night after.
Stage. It is just so cool.
But can we just say the real cool thing is, a week later, Kids Bop was going to be there.
Oh yeah, that's true. We missed out on Kids Bop. My bad.
We drove by, or we walked by and we saw the sign and it said Kids Bop. We were
no, that wasn't at the House of Blues. That was at a different theater.
Oh, that was.
It was at a different theater. But I was like, hey, you want to stay and see Kids Bop?
But could you imagine seeing Kids Bop live? Like,
I know, right? But yeah, so we're at the... Oh my god, Alex is blowing up our phone.
And we also got a notification that he has 8% battery and he's just sending us TikToks.
He's sending us TikToks, and we see it because we're filming with our phone. So anyway, we're at the Vampire Ball. I get there, I see all the band, and they're like, oh, Jenny, it's so good to see you. They call me Jenny, by the way. They were like, where's Allie? And I was like, Allie's not here? And they were like, no. But she eventually comes, and so we go into sound check. During sound check, and I'm going to tell this story. During sound check, first of all, I wanted to practice with our tops because we had these tops that had like these ridiculous sleeves. Not ridiculous like two different colored stripes, but ridiculous like they had like bell sleeves. And we've never danced with that before, so I wanted to practice in it. But I didn't change my entire outfit like Allie did. I kind of just like put that top on over what I was wearing. So let me just say that I made questionable fashion decisions that day because that outfit was not great. But I just basically put this like super cool gothic black top on over a leotard, a red sports bra, and a plaid skirt. Like it wasn't a good fashion choice, okay? But we're doing sound check. He's taking some fun shots, why not? And Zeta, one of my friends who's there, she's Jess's friend, and she and I have become pretty good friends. She takes a video during the sound check of Birthday. It's a Cruise Shadows song where the two dancers go to the front of the stage and give a little booty shake for the audience. It's like, happy birthday. And it's just like a thing that was started decades ago, and now the dancers still do it. She takes a video of me doing the booty shake, and she sends it to Black On, the K-pop artist that I dance for. And I'm like, you sent a video of me shaking my butt to a K-pop idol? Why? In that outfit of all things. And she said, he texted me back, he wonders why you didn't do that at his show. And I'm sitting here like, he choreographed the show. Like, I would have, I guess. But, like, he choreographed. Why'd you send my butt to him? It was really, really funny. But she has that on TikTok, this random compilation video of the whole thing, and there's my butt for like 3 seconds. It's just shake. Actually, 1 second. Yeah. I would say it's about 1 second of me just shaking my butt. It was just why Zeta? But thank you.
In your test outfit.
In my test outfit of all things, like in the questionable fashion decision outfit. So we do sound check, then we go back into the dressing room for like what seems like an ungodly amount of time, but they feed us, which is cool. There's like vegan burgers. I had a whole bunch of French fries. We do the show. It was fun. And after the show, we go like take a photo by the booth and whatever. And the biggest thing about this is that for those that know me and know all of my allergies, let me just remind you that I was at a vampire ball. There was so much fake blood and body paint and latex everywhere. I might as well have gone to Spooky Empire. Like, I've been avoiding Spooky Empire, just thinking I was going to die. And trust me, there were moments where I thought that, oh my God, if somebody touches me, I'm going to have such a problem right now. But everyone was super cool about, like, not being super touchy. But it was a very, very crowded bar. I basically just, like, grabbed Allie's hand and she, like, mowed me through everybody.
Everybody was dressed so pretty, though.
But there was a dress code.
Oh, yeah, it was a ball.
Like, it was a ball, and it was like a Victorian-style ball. So everyone had to be dressed to the nines.
Also, can I say that vampires have some of the best, like, polite etiquette?
Yeah, because
like,
it's Victorian.
They'd start walking through, and there'd be people, and they'd back up, and they're like...
If only everybody was like them. And
me?
Everybody at this ball was just super courteous, very, very beautifully dressed. Great people. Absolutely great people. I wish I could have stayed longer, but we knew we needed to get up the next morning, and so we needed to go to sleep. So as soon as the show was over, I helped everyone load out, and then I was like, all right, peace out, love y'all. And we went back to our hotel, ate our pecan butter and jelly, which was like different. It wasn't my favorite sandwich I've ever had, but it was good. It was nice.
It's a good alternative for someone who can't have peanut butter.
I think I would have preferred it almond butter, but like it was good. It was good.
It's different.
I don't know what flavor that jelly was. They never told us. It was like yellow.
Yeah, the jelly was like almost like a green apple flavor.
Yeah, almost. I have no idea. I should call. I should call and find out what flavor that jelly is. It was different. It was very different. So anyway, we go to sleep. We wake up the next morning, and I'm like, hey, are we going for a walk or are we just leaving? And he's like, let's go for a walk. And I was like, are you sure? You're the one driving 8 hours today. And he goes, I'm going to go for a walk. I was like, all right. So we get up. It's like 7 o'clock. So we get up. We go for a walk. We find ourselves at Café du Monde, the official Café du Monde that everyone tells me to go try. We tried it. Café Beignet, way better. Du Monde is good. The donuts were delicious, but they had no coffee options other than like cafe au lait, regular cafe, like regular coffee, and like an espresso shot. That's it. That's all they had. And it was cash only. Like their menu was like these being versus like Café Beignet, you can get a latte, you can get a chai, you can get a matcha, you can get it's like Starbucks with like really good donuts, okay? Yeah. You can get sandwiches, you can get quiches, you can get omelets.
We get crepes. At Café Beignet.
But we go to Café du Monde, and it's like, I guess maybe because we were at their takeout window. Maybe if you went and sat down, they had a bigger menu. I don't know. We didn't have the time. So we walked all the way over there. We got our beignets, and we're walking around. I did my cartwheel picture, finally. I put my hands on the ground in New Orleans, and I'll explain why that sucked in a little bit. But we got some donuts. We're just walking around. Nothing's open. We're just enjoying the scenery. And we go take pictures by the House of Blues. And we find another coffee shop. I get him a praline latte. I thought that was delicious.
It was good.
I would have had that. I would have drank that.
Good. Well, I don't remember the name of the coffee shop. Sorry, but they were really good. It was
PJ's, I want to say. It was something like PJ's.
If you guys know what that one is or something similar.
There's a lot of them in New Orleans. It's a local to New Orleans, but it's a local chain. It was good. I had a chai, which tasted so good, but it came out lukewarm. Like, she did not heat it up enough, and I was just like, hi, it's not very hot. She goes, well, I can reheat it, and as the OCD person, I'm like, yeah, no, you can't open my coffee at this point and, like, reheat it. No, sorry. I know that's kind of silly because it was just opened, but, like, there's something about it. I don't know. So, anyway, and then we left. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, we just did a lot of walking and being excited. And the coolest part is like driving, or I think before or leading up to it, I didn't even think about Leverage Redemption being filmed there. And then I think we were driving up and you're like, guess what we can go see?
I was like, Leverage was filmed here. Let's go see if we can find stuff. Yeah, he flipped. And I loved, that's my favorite part of the whole trip, was getting to see Leverage headquarters. Out of all the things that we did, out of all the things that we ate, my favorite part was getting to perform in the show. Not gonna lie, that was my absolute favorite part.
But sans that.
Minus the show, minus the reason that we were there. My favorite touristy thing was getting to see Leverage headquarters. My least favorite thing about the city. What was your least favorite thing?
I don't know. I would have to say, I think that it was some of the vibe that I got. Like, I'm not a huge partier, and I haven't been since I was like early to mid 20s, and that's not my scene. So I think that would probably
the fact that like it was like a bar party.
I felt like I was at a college party everywhere,
especially on Bourbon Street.
And it's also, you guys got to remember, it was also Halloween weekend.
Yes, everyone on Bourbon Street. It was noon 40, and everyone was just wasted. And like, I remember one of my friends that I talked to about going to New Orleans, he said, avoid Bourbon Street. And I was like, I mean, I just want to like walk down it and see it. I don't want to be like, well, yeah, I never went to Bourbon Street. Just walk down it. I don't need to like do anything there. We walked down it and I was like, I should have avoided this actually, because I don't drink. We don't party. It was just a bunch of drunk people. I felt like I was in Tallahassee again on, I forgot the name of that. I think it was just called the Strip. I think it's just called the Strip in Tallahassee. It was just drunk people, but it was noon 40. Yeah. It wasn't like 12:40 at night. It was noon 40.
People were not being able to sit on their stool at the place, like stumbling, and you're like, oh, hello, good morning.
I think for me, my least favorite part was the smell, and I'm gonna be pretty like honest. Like, my nose is so sensitive, so the way a city smells does mean something to me. And everyone's going to say, oh, all major cities smell bad. That is not true. Salt Lake City smells amazing. Raleigh, like North Carolina smells really, really, I don't know what the word is, but like nice. It's fine. It's fine. That's what it is. It's not nice. It's fine.
Is that passive aggressive or is it?
No, it's like actually fine. New York smells terrible. New York City smells absolutely terrible. The smell of New Orleans, it hit 4 different scents hit you at the same time, and nobody guessed it. Everyone was like, "Oh, did it smell like pee?" And I'm like, "No, it didn't. That's what New York smells like." And no, there's a whole musical about it. So like, I'm not wrong, but 4 scents hit you in the face all at once. The first smell is alcohol, but the morning after. So like, I grew up in a bar. It's weird to say. My parents owned bars when I was growing up. So I grew up going to the bar the morning after to help my mom clean up and like, you know, earn a little money and spend it on comics. And so I spent a lot of time in a bar, like a sports bar. And so I know the smell of alcohol caked on the floor from the night before. That smell hits you the second you get there. Second smell, dumpsters. There are a lot of them, which makes sense because there are so many bars. Every bar, every restaurant has to have a dumpster, and that's just the smell hits you. Nothing against it. It's a city. It's a downtown. Richmond smells like that. The smell of dumpsters, because there's so much going on. There's just a lot of trash. Makes sense. So you got alcohol and dumpsters. Patchouli. Not a scent I expected, but patchouli hits you in the face. And then, I don't think I can say the last one, but it's a plant. It's definitely a plant.
Which appears to be legal
there. 5
there.
leaves, 5 stems of the leaf. Which appears to be legal there because they have a delivery service for it, just blatantly. But yeah, those 4 scents absolutely assault you all at once.
And they're like,
and there is nothing I've smelled in my life that smells quite as distinct as those 4 things all at once.
As I was gonna say, they're all like from different parts of the like smell category.
Yeah, it's like I like the smell of like incense and stuff. Patchouli's an interesting one, but like those 4 at once was just like, especially the last 2 at the same time, they kind of like weave. You're just like, I don't know what I'm smelling. I don't know. Is it giving me a headache or is it making me like hungry. I don't know what's going on.
This nostril smells one thing, this one smells the other.
Yeah, so it's just, it hits you. So, but yeah, I think my favorite thing about the city in general is the live music. I was so excited to see live musicians. We have some videos of that. And my least favorite thing was the way it smelled. So, your favorite thing was the vibe?
Yeah, just I would have to say my favorite thing was probably just the artistic vibe of it. Just like in that area, just like performers. I've been a performer most of my life, from doing magic to balloon animals to now performing with Noise Complaint. You know, I've been a performer of some kind forever. And so that was really cool to just see these people out there just doing their hustle, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think my least favorite thing is just the other side of that vibe of just the party.
The partying.
Although,
frat party kind of deal.
Although it was really cool. I gave a dog $1.
Yeah, I sent him to the hotel to get my shoes or something.
For your costume. Yeah,
my knee strap. I don't know. I sent him to the hotel to get something for my costume. He comes back, he goes, I hope you're not mad at me, but I gave a dog $1. And I was like, that is not a sentence I ever expected to hear from you. First of all, you can give a dog anything you want, and I will be fine with that. It's a dog. Second of all, it's $1. Third of all, what?
There was a lady sitting there, and she had a sign. She had like food and stuff and treats for her dog, and she says, "Hey, I'm trying to earn money to buy stuff for my dog." And so I walked by when I was going back, and when I was coming back, I was sitting at the light to go across the street, and the dog just literally walks up, sits down, and just sits right next to my shoe, my boot. And I look down, and there's just this like tiny dog just sitting there, just looking at me, and I'm like, well, we're friends, so here you go. So I gave her $1, and she was like, "Thank you so much." And I was like, "You gotta watch your dog. He's trying to cross the street." Like, so yeah, one of the coolest things is someone converted a school bus.
Yeah, someone converted a school bus into like a hop on, hop off, pay $10 to party bus.
It was just
it
bright
was really
lights,
really
loud music.
cool.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was the delivery van.
Yeah. There was
the plant delivery van.
It looked like they would deliver
literally
people.
Just call them and they'll just deliver it.
But it looked like a transport thing for like people and for plants.
Yeah, plants. So anyway, that was our 23 hours in New Orleans. Then we drove home, and it was a long drive, but it was nice. So always a nice drive with you. You're fun.
We just have fun. We play trivia,
lots of
guess
trivia.
the music games, and
yeah, we stopped at Taco Bell on the way there. Did we also do Taco Bell on the way home?
Oh, speaking of Taco Bell on the way there. Sorry, side story. We're sitting there, and where are we, in Alabama or somewhere?
No, we were still in Florida, but it was in like this tiny little city in Florida.
So we go in, and we go in to order the food and stuff, and also use the restroom. So we're sitting there, and we're waiting, and like it's taking a little while. The people in the back that are cooking and making the food are singing. Just random songs.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm in the bathroom and I hear all this banging and singing and I'm like, what is going on? Apparently they were having like some musical number back there.
And then we were waiting, and then she comes out and we're waiting for the food. And what song were they singing? And then I just started belting out. Now, mind you, I can't sing.
He just joins in with this song.
I can project, and I just projected throughout this entire Taco Bell with them. And they just kept singing.
The crew was just having such a good time. And I'm sure that some of the patrons were probably annoyed by it. But I'm like, look, whatever's going to make your workday happier and funner, like, do it.
I had a blast. Cause
I had fun with them.
I just started singing with them. And then
I was
we
just
laughed
the nice audience
bye.
member. Like, yeah, you go, guys. Like, anything that makes your workday more fun, do it. Absolutely. That will never bother me. It was a lot of fun. But I forget where we ate on the way back.
I think it was Taco Bell.
Was it Taco Bell again? I know, like, it's his, like, favorite place to stop. I think I wanted pub subs, but you wanted Taco Bell on the way back.
But yeah, so we got Taco Bell.
Yeah. He was nice enough to drive me the 8 hours both ways so that I can do this show. He can eat whatever he wants. And he ate the po' boys that I suggested.
And that Taco Bell wasn't as cool. They weren't singing. No,
it was pretty boring. But anyway, so that was our 23 hours in New Orleans. It was a total of a 48-hour trip, I want to say. It was fun. I'm glad that we did it. It was the last of my shows from the middle of August to the end of October. I had so much every single weekend. There was no break. I had multiple shows, some shows during the week, multiple things going on at all times. I had the most exhausting 10 weeks of my life. And I'm glad that I'm past it, but at the same time, I'm grateful for everything that I got to do. There were so many cool things that I got to do in those 10 weeks, and it was just amazing. And I'll probably have a video on that, all that stuff on my channel, talking about that as a professional dancer. But yeah, it was just, I'm exhausted. But yeah, hopefully you guys loved hearing about our time in New Orleans, and take it away.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We got all kinds of fun videos, vlogs, challenges, things like that. Hang out with us. It's fun. And then if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed that cool beignets, if you enjoy beignets, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy that little puppy, thumbs up for that puppy. But no, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And we're out of here. Bye. Is it good?
It's so good. I'm gonna cry.
So much powdered sugar.
I know. You ready?
Yes.
Don't drop it.
They're so good.
So no big deal, but we're just standing here at Leverage headquarters. Like, what? Look at this.